guess what? Now you can't feel God the same way. Now you can't be sensitive to God the same way. And you know something? Every time you remember the offense, it is God bringing the offense to your mind so that you can deal with it and get rid of it. It is not the offense tormenting you. It is the goodness and grace of God trying to get you to be free from it. So God continually brings it up to you, expecting you to give it away, to get rid of it. But instead, what do? We take it and throw it right back into our pond of peace and keep everything all churned up in here and everything all disturbed. And now that verse doesn't work for us. Now, this is not only true in my relationships with people, this is true in my relationship with my life. Because nobody has a life that everything's going perfect in. There's always concerns. There's problems. There's cares. And a care is a situation that matters to you. Well, what's important, Brother Wright? The only thing that's important is what's important to you. If it's important enough for you to care about, it's important enough for you to cast. What's the big sport here? Soccer. Does Singapore have a national team? You know what? I could absolutely care less that Singapore's national team wins or loses. Now, listen, people sitting here, you don't feel that way. You care. Now, you probably don't know much about American football, but I went to the United States Naval Academy. You see these colors? These colors are blue and gold. They are my favorite colors. Guess what the colors were for the Naval Academy? Blue and gold. I got more blue and gold in my wardrobe than anything else. My wife thinks I have a fixation on blue and gold. I just happen to think they're the most awesome colors in the universe. And I know blue is one of God's absolute favorite colors, and I want to walk with God, so blue is my favorite color. Because there's more blue in the universe than there is other color. So if blue's not your favorite color, you're out of tune with God. Now, here's the problem. It's football season at home. And Navy is playing other football teams. Well, guess what? If I let that gets in my spirit. And I begin to fret. Are they going to win this week? Are they going to win? Are they going to win? Do you know what I have learned I have to do? Lord, I give you this ball game. Whether they win or lose, I don't want this in my spirit. I don't want this disturbing to me. I don't want to be up when they win. I don't want to be down when they lose. And because I care, there's only one thing I can do is give it to you. You think that's silly. No, I care about it. And whatever I care about, I have to cast. Because if I don't cast it, it disturbs my spirit. What do you care about? Some of you care about things you'd be embarrassed to tell anybody about. Oh, yes, you would. But the bottom line is this. It's not what somebody else thinks about you caring. It's the fact that you care about it. If you care about it, no matter how small it may be, then you got to cast it. Because if you don't cast it, it goes right into your pond of peace. And you know something? It doesn't matter if you're casting little pebbles in your pond or gigantic boulders. You're still disturbing your pond of peace. This is the school of the Spirit. And I'm teaching you the practicality of walking in the Spirit. Because if I don't walk in peace, I am not walking in the Holy Ghost. If I don't live in peace, I'm not living in the Spirit. Because the foundational element of spiritual ministry is having and maintaining my peace with God, my peace with others, my peace with myself, and my peace with my circumstances. I cannot afford to allow anything in my spirit. This isn't some fantasy story or something that sounds good in church but doesn't work anyplace else. This is some of the most practical, everyday, hour by hour, moment by moment teaching you could possibly ever receive. I live just like this. It only took me 58, 57 years to get there. And you know what I had to do to get there, Brother Willoughby? On my birthday, February the 18th, 2003, I got a phone call at 8 o'clock in the morning. It had been snowing all weekend. We don't get a lot of snow where we live. This was a freak storm. In a little over 2 days, it snowed deep enough that the snow was up past my hips. They called it the snow of the century. 8 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning. No, Tuesday morning. February the 18th, 2003, I get a phone call. Brother Wright, you need to get up to the church building. The building has collapsed under the snow. What? We built that building. Literally, we built that building. Blood, sweat, tears were all in that building. Plus, that building had all kind of memorials in it. There were places in that building I could take you and say, God spoke to me this right here in this spot, and I prayed for so and so right here, and God healed this one, and right over here so and so was delivered, and there was an angel of God that came to me right here, and my son was married right here, and my grandchild was dedicated right here, and all, there were all kind of memories in that building. And I drove up on that hill where the church was, and it was down. Oh, God. The emotional loss of it was beyond my ability to describe. But the first couple of months, we were so busy just trying to salvage what we could and keep everything flowing. There wasn't time to grieve. But when things kind of got settled out, I began to grieve. And it hit me really, really bad. I had a hard time praying. It weighed on my spirit. It weighed on my spirit. And I asked the Lord the question, why, thousands of times. I never got an answer. And finally, what I taught you yesterday from Philippians 3 was the only answer God gave me. He said, I've let you lose this building to teach you how to deal with loss. Because I have designed loss into this life. And you will never know me and never walk with me like I want you to and like you need to if you're going to be a part of me, if you don't learn how to let me help you deal with loss. And so yesterday, as I read you those verses, Paul said, those things that were gained to me, I counted, that's all past tense, counted lost for Christ. I couldn't put that building back. I couldn't fix all of that. It wouldn't go back. I kept waiting for the nightmare to be over with and wake up and realize it was just a terrible nightmare. It wasn't. It was a living nightmare, and it wouldn't go back. It wouldn't be fixed, and it was terrible. And if we didn't have the structure that I'm going to teach about tomorrow, whether you're able to be here or not, you need to hear this. If we didn't have that church structure, Antioch wouldn't exist today. Because if we had been a traditional church built around a facility,